Now, whether you view Thanksgiving as a day for family and giving thanks, or it's just a convenient holiday, Thanksgiving has been a U.S. tradition for a long time. And today we're going to get a full plate of weird and chow down on today's episode of 5 Weird Things. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for checking in on the weird today. Thanksgiving was always a big deal in my family. My aunt was a caterer, put out a great spread. One of my oddest memories of Thanksgiving was inviting a friend to come with, and when I was getting some pumpkin pie after dinner, I came back to find my great-uncle, who was dealing with Alzheimer's at the time, was loudly telling her about his favorite kinds of rough sex. This remains her favorite Thanksgiving story to this day. So what is your best weird about Thanksgiving? Let me know in the comments. All right, let's get into it. First, the stuff we should all know. Now, in the United States, Thanksgiving is typically observed on the fourth Thursday of November. The holiday commemorates a harvest festival celebrated by the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag people in 1621, where they shared a feast to give thanks for the successful harvest and blessings of the past year. The Pilgrims were English settlers who had arrived in Plymouth, Massachusetts on the Mayflower. The Thanksgiving celebration involves a traditional meal, often centered around a roast turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, and pumpkin pie. Families and friends often get together to share the feast, expressing gratitude for the good things in their lives. Weird thing number 5. Thanksgiving wasn't always about the turkey. Now, while turkey is a staple of modern Thanksgiving dinners, historians believe that the Pilgrims and Native Americans likely feasted on deer, fowl, and seafood during the first Thanksgiving in 1621. Turkey became a more common feature of the Thanksgiving meal in the 19th century. Weird thing number 4. The wishbone tradition. Now, breaking the wishbone of a turkey is a very common Thanksgiving tradition, but few people know its history. The custom dates back to the ancient Etruscans and Romans, who believed that birds had magical powers. And the tradition is for 2 people to each take one end of the wishbone, make a wish, and then pull. The person with the larger piece gets their wish because the soul of the bird is in the bone. Weird thing number 3. The Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys have hosted Thanksgiving Day NFL games since the 1930s. The tradition started with the Detroit Lions in 1934, and they've hosted over 80 Thanksgiving Day games. The Lions are 37, 43, and 2 playing on Thanksgiving in franchise history, while the Dallas Cowboys joined in 1966, and they've hosted over 50 Thanksgiving Day games. The Cowboys are 31, 23, and 1 playing on Thanksgiving Day. Weird thing number 2. Thanksgiving became a national holiday in the United States through the efforts of Sarah Josepha Hale, an influential editor and writer. Hale is also known for writing the nursery rhyme, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Now, Hale began her campaign in the 1840s, writing letters to governors, senators, and presidents, urging them to establish Thanksgiving as a national holiday. She saw it as a way to promote unity and a sense of American identity during a time of division and strife. Hale's efforts gained momentum during the Civil War, and she believed that a national day of Thanksgiving could help heal the wounds of the nation. President Abraham Lincoln listened to Hale's persistent lobbying, and in 1863, in the midst of the Civil War, Lincoln issued a proclamation establishing Thanksgiving as a national holiday. He set the date as the final Thursday in November. Lincoln's proclamation emphasized the need for gratitude and unity during a difficult time in the country. Over the years, Thanksgiving continued to be celebrated on the final Thursday in November until 1941, when Congress officially established Thanksgiving as the 4th Thursday in November, where it remains today. This change was made to provide a longer Christmas shopping season during the Great Depression. And finally, weird thing number 1, the Macy's Day Parade. Now, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is a beloved annual event in the United States. It's known for its giant balloons, marching bands, and performances. Now, it started as a Christmas parade. The first Macy's parade in 1924 was originally called the Macy's Christmas Parade. It was intended to kick off the holiday shopping season, and it featured animals from the Central Park Zoo. Balloon releases. In the early years of the parade, giant balloons were released into the sky at the end of the route. Finder tags attached to them, and whoever found a deflated balloon could return it to Macy's for a prize. This did not work out well, and few balloons were ever returned. Character balloons. The very first character balloon in the parade was Felix the Cat in 1927. It stood a little over 20 feet tall, and it had to be carried. Since then, hundreds of different characters, both fictional and real, have become balloons, including Mickey Mouse, Snoopy, and Spider-Man. The High Flyers. During World War II, there was a shortage of helium, and Macy's donated their rubber and helium supplies to the government. As a result, the parade balloons were deflated and donated to the military for the High Flyers project, which used them as a form of early warning radar for enemy aircraft. Parade suspension. The Macy's parade was suspended during World War II from 1942 to 1944 due to a helium shortage and rubber and latex being needed for the war effort. Now, accidents and mishaps have happened. Over the years, there's been a few incidents involving the giant balloons. In 1997, the Cat in a Hat balloon knocked over a lamppost and injured 4 people. Since then, new safety measures have been implemented, including closer monitoring of wind conditions. The coldest Macy's Day Parade on record was 1872, when the temperature during the parade was a chilly 21 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, the Macy's Parade has undergone a lot of route changes throughout its history. In the early years, it marched from Harlem to Macy's flagship store in Herald Square. The current route stretches 2.5 miles from Central Park West to Herald Square. Well, that's it for today's episode. Whether you liked it, loved it, hated it, let me know down in the comments. But if you're listening at this point, the code word for today is gobble. Thank you much. Have a great night.